doing it? Are we doing the thing?
You're doing the thing and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, everybody. Let me just check the... Welcome to Hungry for Knowledge. We're doing something a little bit special this month where we are bringing on monster adjacent VTubers, where we learn a little bit more about the history of them. We learn a bit about themselves. We learn a bit about why they chose this route, all that kind of fun stuff. But yes, so I am hanging out with two very giant people because Cyclops big.
All right, well,
Yeah.
first things first, can be heard.
Be
Clear this time.
A little bit crackly, but go ahead. Let's just hear what comes out.
And now I scream into the mic for 3 minutes. No.
Ah!
I'm terrible at introductions. I'm just Pepper. To go late on my thing. Introduction.
Oh, Pepper, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
getting like
Pepper.
bits and pieces. Oh, no.
Oh, here, I'll do an introduction for Pepper. I'll save her. This is Pepper. She is large and lovable. She has one eye. She likes purple. She's soft and cozy and comfy to hang out with. She's a friend of all friends. And has a spiky headband. Did I do a good job?
Oh no!
I don't even know because we can't hear you.
Oh no! It's okay. It's so frustrating too, because you were like,
Oh my God.
you were perfectly fine when we were talking before. I think we used all of your working minutes. No!
We've destroyed the bandwidth.
I don't know why it's doing this to me.
Wog.
It's just my provider being rude because they were like this yesterday and I couldn't play Minecraft for like 3 hours because I connect and then it would go, no.
I mean, they just let you have your full rant, so I mean, we'll give them that at least.
Of course. Yeah. Some things to add are that I'm just a variety comfort and that's about thing you need from me.
I got the majority of that, so that's what counts.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it might just stabilize periodically, so worst comes to worst, we'll fix it up and we can just put subtitles over it. We'll find a solution, I promise. Now let's let Grogda introduce themselves.
Hi. My name is Grogda. I'm 8 feet tall. I'm a big old cyclops. I am part Oni and I am part orc. And so that's and I am a giant. And I have one eye and I'm just a normal girl. Yes, I try to lean into more of the Oni aesthetic with like my stream elements and my big ol' horn and kind of the height because both orc characters and Oni characters tend to be tall and large and big, and both orc and Oni characters occasionally have one eye. And so here I am with my big old eye. Am very inspired by like D&D style characters, and so there's a lot more orc elements to me as well. And there's only one horn on my head instead of 2 because the other one just didn't grow.
You're REM coded, is what you're saying.
I'm REM coded. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start using that term. Oh my gosh, Nacree, I didn't even see you come in.
It's okay. Hello. Are we in live?
Yeah, I just need to.
Oh my
invite you.
gosh. Hi everyone. Hello. Oh gosh. I'm Nacree vtuber. I'm a French cyclops who try to learn English the best I can. So I choose to stream more in English than French. And I stream since 1 year already. And I'm really happy to be here and all the friends I made and to join the VTuber community. It was one of my best social experience I ever had.
Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. This is why we let you in. You're supposed to be the wholesomeness that we needed.
Well,
Yes.
Oh, hi guys, I'm not wholesome that much.
And you're very, very, your model came out very pretty. I always,
Thank you.
the first time, so funny story. So when I first met Grogda, I met them at a con, and I was originally just like, hey, do you want to come on my talk show? And she was like, I have a whole group. So the first person I actually watched, ironically, was you happened to be streaming and I had you up on a hotel TV, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that model is so pretty. Because normally you have blue hair too, which I think is very, very pretty. Not to
Thank
say
you.
the red hair's bad either. But there's something about having Nacree on a big TV and seeing that too just made it even cooler. So
Oh, my big
God.
TV.
Oh
I
my
love that
gosh.
heart.
so I try and like check everybody's streams, make sure I'll vibe well with them if they'll be fun.
Make sure you're not getting any weirdos.
Well,
Your
I will admit that there is one talk show episode that will never be published because there was a bad thing said, and after it was said, I hit
Uh-oh.
stop recording, and ever
no.
since then, I have to kind of vet people a little bit. I saw a big number, I got excited, and yeah. If you see a big number, it doesn't mean that they're a good person. I'll just put that there.
Oh, oh.
one concept for games, but
Yeah, it was that one was a rough one, unfortunately, but we don't need to think about that. We're thinking about the cool people I got on screen right now, right?
Yes.
no gamer words here.
Yeah, thank goodness.
The gamer words.
Oh my gosh, that was a journey. Surprisingly, I don't know if you guys know, but there aren't a lot of Cyclops in anime.
No,
So-
there's not. I'm actively looking for them all the time.
Because the only ones that are like actually in an anime that I found was Monster Musume, but when I dug in a little bit deeper, they call them mono eyes, which
Yeah, we use the term mono eye often too.
because mono eyes are actually more reference towards some yokai, some one-eyed yokai out there. So that's where like it's like, but what? So I think there's just translation lost around the world as usual.
Mhm.
Oh. Pepper crackly again. Yeah.
Oh, Pepper. Oh, I don't know what you said.
Yeah. To catch up.
I'll say a little something while Pepper troubleshoots.
Yeah.
Cyclops in anime, I have discovered only 4. No, 5 in my hunt. And 3 out of those 5 are not not for everybody anime.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are there's that one that's it's about a nurse. And she's
Oh,
a
yeah.
cyclops. And she examines you with her big old eye. And then the other one is, I think it's only a manga right now and a light novel, and I really want to buy it. And it's called like In Another World with My Mistress Solving Dungeon Problems. Or
Huh?
something like that.
So I'll admit I went to the degenerate corners of the internet just because I wanted to see if I could find anything. And so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. There's one place that I know that will have something. And that's the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. It has to have it. If it doesn't, there's something wrong. I open up the page because I don't actually have the book, and it immediately goes sexual. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, immediately.
but why? Like, why can't we actually focus on the characteristics of the creature, not straight to, oh yeah, and they're really good at doing
So
uh.
our another fellow mono eye Cyclops VTuber who's not an idol, Melancholia, um they were doing like the Monster Girl encyclopedia, reading off every single one and ranking them. And oh my goodness, all the attributes of like, why do they have wings? It's all about breeding, every single attribute. And it's so painful.
I didn't
I just want
realize how horny it was. I'm gonna be
It's
honest.
so horny. It's so because I saw it at my local bookstore and I almost
Mhm.
bought it because I was like, oh, I love Monster Girls, and I was so excited. And then I noticed the book was shrink wrapped, which is code for
For
adult stuff.
Well, so I will give one thing the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it's shrink wrapped because it has like, I don't know, like a card or like stickers or something like that that people
Oh.
will steal stuff out of. Like a great example was you would always see the Shonen Jumps that had like a Yu-Gi-Oh card in it or something. Those would always be shrink wrapped because that way you can't just open it up, take the card, leave the store kind of thing.
I
Um
didn't know that.
yeah, and like I think I had like a Naruto manga that had like the Naruto cards when they were making them too. So that's the only reason I know that that's not always true. It just definitely is true on some occasions, which I discovered unfortunately. I was just hoping to have a wholesome time just learning about monster girls, but nope,
Yeah.
that's not allowed. Not allowed. I don't think that the existence of things like Monster Musume and anime like that are out there are helping the case either, which is really unfortunate.
They really are. And I feel like Musume uh
Yeah.
gets into that weird territory of it is most certainly like lewd content, but also there's so many wholesome and fun aspects of it and like world building that I really like. And so it's like we got both.
Like the whole little like special forces team that they have in the anime are like the coolest characters ever. Like I love the zombie. The zombie's
Mhm.
so freaking cool. But nope, gotta go back to horny. That's just the rule.
Yeah.
It all goes back to horny. Like even
Ha-
oh my god, the mono eye in that anime is so cute and wholesome, but then the MC has to go on a date with her and make it weird.
Mhm. Have you ever delved into the Toho series?
Not really. I hear it talked about a lot, but I haven't really dove into it myself.
It's very iconic, but I mention it because every single character, it well almost every single character in that is a monster girl of some sort, mostly yokais
Mhm.
and like ancient gods, and it is not lewd. So that's kind of like, I don't know, something to look into and explore if you're out there looking for
Yeah.
monster girl content that's
I
not lewd.
actually think there's literally and this was the only place that I found it before I started working on my own stuff. Was I think there was a Komainu in it. So what was you guys' first experience with Cyclopes and why did you choose to build your streaming personas around it? And yes, the plural for Cyclops is Cyclopes. I learned this recently.
Wait, really?
I always
Yes.
pronounced it Cyclopes.
I did too.
Cyclopes?
But when I was doing my research, every like history based like video, they're like, "Yep, it's Cyclopes." And I'm like, "All right, I guess it's Cyclopes."
No,
Hey, I got a funny
Uh-oh.
Hey, do you think, you know how like groups of animals get their own name? Like a warren of rabbits?
Mm.
Do you think that a bunch of cyclops could be called a cyclone? A cyclone of cyclops?
We can brand.
Yep. No more idols, just the cyclone now. Oh my god, we're using the Discord soundboard and everything. Now, for sake of our sanity, let's pull back to the question.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Pepper.
I was gonna say Grogda, because we kind of got a little bit of yours there, or maybe that was all of yours there.
What was the question again? Okay, Pepper, go first.
Okay, I guess that's me. I actually can't say first experience, like my first exposure to like Cyclopes. The one the most actually like had me like enjoying them aesthetically. Comic monster, but she was really. This was like back 16, I want to say. It was back when I was updating when I first started reading it, and like I then actually had originally thought, oh, I could do this as a streaming thing then, before I really knew what VTubing was. Now, fast forward years before I actually knew anything about it, I just enjoy Cyclopes. It's kind of as simple as that. Is I really liked her aesthetically, and I liked the big old eye, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
We got the majority of that, but for sake of audio quality, what was the webtoon called again?
Monster Pop.
Monster Pop. All right. What was your first experience, Grog?
So mine's not nearly as like wholesome or cute as Pepper's. I I play a little game called Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, so we got a nerd here.
I'm a fucking nerd. So we were doing this campaign called Bungeons and BS, and we all had to create a character who was like had some sort of really silly major flaw. And so I was like, you know, it'd be really funny, a really, really buff guy, really buff orc guy who doesn't do anything if when rolling to attack or interact, I roll below a 15, he just stands there. And to make it more funny, I made him a Cyclops. Very, very specifically, if you know what the Hinox from A Legend of Zelda looks like, not like the Breath of the Wild ones, the older ones where it's just like big burly dude with one eye and a ponytail. That's exactly what he looked like, and his name is Gronk. And I really fell in love with Gronk. I really loved Gronk. He was my favorite little guy that I made. And I wanted to get into streaming. I wanted to get into VTubing, and I was like, oh well, I don't know what my character would look like. Hey, what if I was Gronk's daughter and then I made a cute Cyclops girl, and that's how we got here?
Daughter of Gronk, Grogda.
Daughter of Gronk, Grogda, and his wife is named Lunda. So Gronk and Lunda made Grogda.
That's your new title now. Daughter of Gronk, Grogda.
I'll put it in my Twitter bio.
I think it says I'm shy because all of the Cyclops character in cartoons was really very cute in my taste. The way they express emotion just by one eye, I think it's always adorable. I don't have example in memory, but I saw on Cartoon Networks, Nickelodeons, a lot of stuff like that. I saw a lot of Cyclops, and by growing up, I fall on Monster Girls. I was a Monster Girls first with Monster Musume, who bring me the words, bring me the tags, bring me everything. Like, oh, it's called like that. Oh, it's called like that. So I go deeper and deeper and deeper, maybe too much deeper. And I saw the first anime Cyclops Girls. I was like, oh, can we make something more adorable than that? Oh, look at her! In Eyedols are smaller than the Japanese artists prefer to do. The Japanese artists prefer like bigger, like take almost all of the face. I was more attracted to Western cartoon proportion, like Sapphire on Steven Universe. So I mixed all of that, and yeah, and when I met the VTubers world in 2002,
You can do it!
2020, when I met the VTubers concept with Hololive, the adorable doggy or VTuber, I don't remember.
Korone.
Korone. Oh, with Korone, I was like, oh my gosh, when I was a VTuber, I will be a Cyclops.
So sadly, we only have 2 parts of the 4, but how did the Idols start, and how did you guys find your ways into the group?
Well, fortunately, we have me for that one because it's my fault. I think I first stumbled because I was just when I first started on Twitter to begin, like before I even started streaming at all again. I was doing just my best to find every Cyclops I could and just following them along. And then I had a couple of fun interactions with Honey where we just doodled stuff back and forth, and that was great. And then I did my little doodles. I don't remember what led to it. It was probably just the fact that I had a pun in my brain that I put it there for the world.
I
And I was just
remember.
like, all right, take this for a Cyclops idol group. Idols was the first one.
Pepper, you left out a crucial step.
I probably did.
Yeah, all the doodles kind of started it all. Pepper really unified us all. And then I posted a picture of a drawing of me sitting in a bowl of soup. And then
Yes.
Pepper drew herself also in the soup. And then everybody started adding their OC into the soup. And then Pepper made the Idols group chat on Twitter. And it just blossomed from there really, really big.
So it all really was like you were at soup?
We were at soup.
Grogda, I'm at soup!
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Why are you acquiring Cyclops at the soup store?
So Cyclopes bathe in soup. This is new information to me. I'm gonna have to add that to the database.
Except
If you
Honey.
consider,
Honey
all
Honey
baths are
Road
soup.
Brown.
Oh no.
All baths are soup. That's flesh soup.
It's just
You're just
person
drinking
stew.
people broth.
Person stew.
Luckily, I don't take baths very often, so that thought does not have to go into my brain anytime soon.
We're getting a hot tub. That counts too. That's
Shit.
person soup.
Oh,
That's even
no.
more soup because it is boiling you.
Is boiling. That's gonna
It's
be a
boiling
well-cooked
you.
soup.
And after you get older and realize things over time, you realize that there's stuff in that stew already.
Uh-oh. Well, I think we might have the option to have
Nacree! There's a lot of really cool Cyclops VTubers out there aside from just the Idols. I mean, we're the coolest. But there's so many cool people out there. We got a rhythm game Cyclops out there. We got
several
we
art
got, like,
Cyclopes.
several art Cyclops, a witch Cyclops, a cool forest but also roller skating Cyclops. We got a Cyclops who's just the thing in the flask from Full Metal Alchemist. We got there's a lot of Japan-based Cyclops VTubers who are indie. There's a mech Cyclops VTuber I know of.
His question. It's sometimes I'm alone in my bed and I'm like, how? How? I can't remember personally. Maybe Pepper and Grogda have better memory because it was made so naturally. I can remember the very seed of that. I remember I befriend with Honey first, but when I connect with Pepper and Grogda and the four connect, it go boom.
It sounds like Honey's art kind of drew you guys together a lot, because I'm hearing a lot of Honey drawing things.
It's like Pepper's like willingness to reach out to everybody, and then Honey being the absolute goat at art, and then the rest of us just kind of also somehow showed up here.
Honey is the goop that stuck you all together. If you The next question, what do you believe makes your take on the Cyclopes so unique, and why did you choose to adapt it in said way?
All right. You want me to go first again?
Yeah, we'll trade off.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily super unique. It is, I took the kind of Greek inspiration for Cyclops, where it was like the idea that they had found an elephant skull or something of that nature.
Mhm.
And we're like, wow, this thing's got a big old eye right in the middle of its head. It must have been terrifying. So I just kind of took that and the elephant aspect of it and ran with it. That's why I'm 10 feet tall. I got tusks and my feet are round.
We actually
have...
went into that a little bit in my video that I was making, because that's how I think they're trying to disprove the theory of Cyclops, because, I mean, let's be honest, the story wasn't real. If Cyclopes are out there, they're probably very nice people. Odysseus was kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, my man's just walked into Polyphemus's cave, took his stuff, and then said, "Why are you killing me?"
Did you know that in some versions of the Bible, they mention Cyclops, but they call it like, just like big one-eyed creatures, and they are the result of angels and humans mating. Did you know that?
No,
There's
I
your
didn't.
fun fact.
Fun facts with Grogda. The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
But yeah, we went over that a little bit because, like, I always forget, like, I really enjoy Greek mythos, but I always forget how much, like, the quote-unquote heroes are kind of huge assholes in the story. Because they're just, like, walking into the room and they're just like, why did you just defend your territory? That's not allowed. Like, literally verbatim in the story of the Odyssey, in all of those books, like, they literally said that all of Odysseus's soldiers wanted to steal everything, but Odysseus is like, no, let me be the nice guy. Let me try and activate the right of hospitality, so he has to give us stuff because we're in his home, so he has to be nice to us. That's the rule. I can't sympathize with mythology.
Hero was always a term of perspective.
110% agree. Thanos was right. I mean, what?
What?
Well, to be fair, he was half right.
Yes,
yeah,
perfectly
literally.
balanced.
Hold on, let me snap real quick.
Yeah, dude, you could erase half the galaxy or whatever, or you could double the resources.
I never thought of that. Wait a minute.
He should have
The
just...
only way to achieve balance is to have there be less people. Or more stuff.
He could have just Mr. Beasted it. Like, where's Mr. Beast Thanos?
Mr.
Double it
Beast
or give it to the
Thanos?
next universe. I need somebody to make that. Mr. Beast Thanos. What's up, guys? It's me, Mr. Thanos, here with another sick giveaway where I give this universe double resources or I give it to the next one. Joke's on you, I'm actually an asshole. Snap, now they're half dead. It's like, at that point, it's just like a genie, though. Like, you're wishing for something, but you don't actually think about how it could affect the rest of the world.
I've
Oh my
spent so much
God.
time thinking about genie wishes.
Yeah, because you have to have, like, when the time comes, you have to have the perfect wish.
Yeah.
Everybody write down your genie wishes right now so that when you run into that magic lamp, you don't destroy the world on accident.
Do you think
Get them certified
genies-
by a lawyer. The only thing that could possibly beat a genie.
Do you think genies like purposefully try to F up your wishes by being like, oh, you didn't consider this? Or do you think they're just really, really literal and you'll say something and they're like, that. Like who's the maid? Amelia Bedelia? Do you think all genies are Amelia Bedelia?
I honestly, like, this is going back to mythos in general. Like, I would be of the mindset that I think they're just literally giving you exactly what you asked for. They're not trying to screw with anything. They're just made out to sound like that's what they're doing on purpose.
Because the people who get to write the story are the people who had their wishes granted. So they're like, that asshole. Bleh. Meanwhile, the genie's like, what? I did what he asked.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that not it? Oh no.
I'll admit, I think my favorite genie interpretation was the sketch from The Whitest Kids You Know, where like the kid asks, I want to be president. So now the genie has to campaign slowly to get it so that kids are allowed to be mayor, kids are allowed to be senator, kids are allowed to be president. And then like he has to slowly grassroots everything from the bottom to the top. So it's not like you get a wish per se, it's you get a slave to do all the work for you, I guess.
No.
All right, so let's hop over to Grogda's side of the answer now.
Oh.
So, what do you believe makes your take on the Cyclopes so unique, and why did you choose to adapt it in said way?
So I kind of already explained quite a bit about
Yeah.
character lore and design. But I kind of mentioned this. Something that just kind of meshed really well with my personality was I did want to be like a unique character, like a one-eyed big old woman, right? I wanted to be a monster girl, but I didn't want like any magical powers or anything or any like deep like god-like lore. I just wanted to be like a normal girl. It was just like, yep, totally normal. Nothing magic or supernatural going on here.
I'm just a funny little guy.
Just a funny little guy.
Well, a
And
funny big gal, rather.
big gal, yeah. And to be honest, when I was initially commissioning and creating this, I did so much research, or what I thought was so much research, into other Cyclops VTubers, and I literally only found one. I'm gonna say her name or their name wrong. Hitome Amana? And they play a lot of rhythm games. And I was like, fuck, if I also become a Cyclops VTuber, is they gonna feel like I'm encroaching on their space? And then I did, and then suddenly I met 20 other Cyclops VTubers, and they were all like, one of us, one of us.
That's what I love too, is like you guys connected through the power of Cyclopes. Together united, we have more eyes than the average person.
It's also the love for Cyclops, but also in real life, I have viewed disabilities,
Mhm.
and I always need to be super close to my mirror every time I want to make up, and it's very taking me time. It's very time consuming. It's uncomfortable, but it's okay. And every time when I need to look also above, sometimes my view go blur, and
Oh.
it's difficult sometimes. So yeah, view and eye in general are important to me. And just having a big eye like this is like, wow, the eye, the soul window, the fact I have a terrible view, but I managed to live like that. And Cyclops girl are adorable. It was like a red line, red cord, where red rope. Yeah,
Okay.
everything is
French.
connected.
So just telling me if I'm pronouncing it wrong too, because I've never spoken French once in my life. I've spoken Spanish, and
Oh,
very little of
Oh.
that. Very little. But it's Nacree, right?
hi. Yes. Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Yes.
I slept 3 hours. I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, your eye is so pretty too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Everybody else was one eye on the screen, but I can't help but pay
Run
attention
string.
to
Yeah.
it.
No,
I
Thank
mean, you're
you.
right.
Nacree's like an oyster. She's so pretty.
Thank you. You too. Thank you. Sorry, I have problem with compliments. Thank you.
See, I told you were going to be the wholesome side of things. So now this is going to be tough since we talked about this earlier and how there really aren't a ton out there. What are you guys' favorite Cyclops in media? Or if you can't think of that, just any monster.
I got one. It's not a cyclops though,
That's fair.
because as you just said, we ran through most of those. Um, there is a character in Toho named Kosaga, and she is an umbrella yokai, and I aspire to be her because she's so freaking cute, and I think it'd be so cool to do like a live 2D outfit alt of or even just a drawing of me in Kosaga's outfit with her big old umbrella.
What would be yours, Pepper?
I mean, honestly, the top Cyclops for me is George from the webcomic I mentioned before, because she was a big inspiration for me in a lot of ways. But I don't absorb a lot of monster content, actually, otherwise. I can't think of any others who really pop to the top besides her.
Dang. There needs to be more. We need to introduce you to the beauty that is Monster Girl. Actually,
I
I can't
certainly-
even say Monster Girls. Let's respect monsters of all gender.
Monsters. There
Monsters,
you go.
yeah.
Just end it there. I was gonna say like monster thems, and I was like, wait a
Monsterful.
minute, we can just delete a word, and
Yeah.
it's so inclusive.
It's like, because the only other Cyclops I remember, like, because I did read some of Monster Musume for a while, and then it got to the point where I was like, I don't really want this. Like, I love the characters, some of the characters, but I just don't have any interest in it anymore. And then there was also one, can't remember the name of it's a nurse Cyclops.
Yeah, that's the
Is that the Monster Girl Doctor one?
Yeah.
yeah, it's called like Nurse Hitome's Monster Infirmary, I think is what it's called.
Yes.
Ooh,
I mean, that's it.
I'm gonna have to jump.
Like, I enjoyed that for a while, but it was another one that got kind of weird in some ways, and I was like, I'm actually
Yeah,
good.
that one gets real weird real quick.
Real. It's like,
Well,
thank goodness, some Cyclops material. Oh,
I just find it really ironic in the sense though that like Monster Musume is everyday life with monster girls. Why'd we make it horny? Like what? This is everyday life. Like everyday life could be we're going to the grocery store to get something for this specific monster girl. Like, why does it have to be horny? Why can't we just be living our daily lives?
There
Horny
is
cells.
a series. I don't think there's cyclops or mono eyes of any sort in it, but it is wholesome. And it's I think it's called Interviews with Monster Girls.
Oh yes.
I liked that one. It's just if Pepper, do you know about that one?
I don't think I do. And I'm going to look and see if
So-
it's something that I've absolutely seen forgotten about. But no,
It's an anime about like just a bunch of people in high school, and I guess like 1/20th or 1/10 something high but also uncommon, so
Mhm.
maybe less than that actually, because that would be 20 in every 100 people of the Earth's entire population of humans are actually monster people. And it's like a gene mutation actually. And so there's some of them, like a vampire and a Dullahan and a snow woman, who go to this high school, and then their teacher is just like, yeah, so like, can I just like interview you a bunch? And it's very wholesome, and it's not weird, and it's cute.
That's a
Okay.
rarity because all we have is what, like Monster Musume, Rosario Vampire, like all the horny stuff in the background.
Rosario Vampire.
let us not think too much of interspecies reviews.
I'm not even. So I have to admit something. My friends like forced me into a cosplay group of the main characters for that, but that's about
Oh
the
my God.
farthest that I dove into it because I want to preserve the sanctity of monsters. I don't want to have to see that side of things.
Oh, I'm sorry, the idols. The idols.
The idols.
My friends know that I'm obsessed by the idols. I always like, oh my gosh, so cute, the colors, the themes, the personalities, the aesthetics, the color choice. It's a mix on everything I love, wholesome, different, and the designs and I just love the idols. They're already my favorites. I love my girl so much.
I
Nacree's
do have
too
to make
good.
an addendum to my answer to this question, I think, because
Oh.
I feel like an absolute sham of a fan. For not mentioning Sapphire, my absolute delight. I love
Oh.
Sapphire, and
Yes!
there was a time where I could
Mm.
actively and quickly in like 2 seconds be like, "Doop, doop, 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 doop." I have drawn Sapphire because I was drawing her so much.
Mm.
I am wearing a Steven Universe shirt featuring Sapphire on it, and I
Let's
didn't think to
go!
say Sapphire. I can't believe me.
I also completely forgot about Sapphire. I was like, oh, I only know these 5, and Sapphire was not one of them.
We can go over the last question that I had in there, which was, what is your scariest experience or legend that you've heard around your area, or just a ghost story you have around your house even?
Ooh.
This is the spooky month question.
Ooh, I got a lot. I gotta think of a good one.
I have very few.
Meanwhile, I just have a
to-
ghost that keeps throwing stuff around my room. Like, I went down to fill my water bottle before I came back up and started the call. And then just all of a sudden, my phone just went like flying across my room. And I'm like, what? I know exactly.
Sorry, did I miss a message? Was ringing annoying you?
Yeah, like literally, it was in the center of my desk. I come up to the top of my stairs, and all of a sudden, it just like jumps in front of me. And I'm like, huh? So I just periodically, I just like, after that started happening, I just remind them, I'm like, hey, can you just not throw my stuff, please? Like, you can chill here all you want. I don't care, but just don't throw my stuff, please. It was weird. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I have a bad habit of interrupting people. And so I was like, I started speaking and I was like, hey, he's still talking. Shut your mouth.
No, just tell
Um,
me to shut my mouth.
no. So okay, I have my spooky story. I don't know if it's spooky enough though. Um, I used to rent a whole house that I lived in years ago. Um, and okay, so imagine a neighborhood, right? Like a normal American suburban neighborhood, right?
Mm.
Imagine that, and you're driving down the street of the neighborhood, right? And you drive down the street, and the houses are going by, and then you get to where the houses end, and like there's a forest, and it's like, okay, we're out of the neighborhood now, and then you drive like another 100 feet. Oh, and there's a house, and then there's nothing else around, and you just keep driving. Is it a fancy house? No. Does it have a lot of land? No. Does it look like a shack in the woods? Yes. And that is the house I rented for a
Oh.
period of time. And it was filled with so many snakes. Oh my god. Um so this, I could talk for hours about this house, and I'm not going to because we'd be here forever. The part I wanted to bring up was, so this house was surrounded by like a local forest preserve. So a bit of the forest was on the actual property of the house, but there was also a barbed wire fence like in the trees that had signs that was like protected land, and like you couldn't go over there. Um but the little bit of treeage, brambles and trees that it did have, I would, explore every now and then. And I would keep finding parts of a refrigerator, like a refrigerator that looked about like a 1980s refrigerator, and I would find like plastic drawers that clearly go in the refrigerator, and they're just scattered about in the woods, not together, like hundreds of feet away from each other, just all these parts to a refrigerator. One of which was even in the pond that was on the property, just like in the water. You could see it if you looked down in there. And it was really weird. And there's already a bunch of weird stuff happening at this house. And then I go more off to more of what's like the side of the road portion of the forest, and I find the refrigerator.
There's something in there.
And the refrigerator is buried partially. It's on its back, so like think of a normal standing up refrigerator and push it over so it's on its back. It's on its back. It's partially, been taken by the earth as if it had been there for a really long time, and there was a tree that had curled over and grown on top of it. And you could see that the door to the refrigerator was propped open just a little and not fully closed. Like you said, there was something in the refrigerator.
Whether it's an animal or a person, I don't care. I ain't opening.
Listen, murder? Maybe? Cause why? Cause here's the thing. Why would the drawers, like the food drawers for like your vegetables and stuff, why would those be removed?
Just to make more space.
To make more space, right? Like, what's in the so the one day I got a shovel and a bunch of friends, and we decided to dig up the refrigerator. Should we have called the cops? I tried that, and they didn't care. Like, they were like, is this a prank? And they didn't care. So we decided we were gonna dig up the refrigerator. And we started at it, and we learned that the ground was significantly harder than we had expected. And then also my team of like 4 other people thought I was kidding for some reason. This is a regular thing that happens to me, is everybody thinks I'm joking, and we're physically holding shovels and in like forest clothes and walking into the forest, and then they see the fridge and they're like, what do you mean there's actually a fridge in the wood? I'm like, what? Why did you think we got shovels and came out here? Do you think this was all a bit? And so they all were like, nope, we don't want to do this, and they left me, and there was just two of us then. We started digging it up, and then it started raining, and we were like, maybe some things are better left to time. And then I moved out of that house.
Understandably so.
Well, truthfully, I don't really have a lot of experiences that are spooky, especially not in retrospect when you find out that the poltergeist is your one cousin who just kept throwing things across the room and you looked away. Because when I first moved into my old house with my parents, like it had just been built, it had an unfinished basement, but like there was like some section of carpet or whatever, and we would hang out there. But one of my older cousins, whenever the younger cousins weren't looking, would just take something and like chuck it to make a noise, and they're like, "It's a poltergeist." I realized that years later, / was told years later, and I hadn't thought about it. I was like, "Oh yeah, you were probably just chucking stuff, huh?" All right, well, I was bullied.
See, but I can't make that excuse about the stuff that's happening to me up here because nobody's home. I love debunking things, so I'll always give both the benefit of the doubt.
And I have another kind of silly one, which my friends and I affectionately referred to as the chainsaw cat. In my old neighborhood, there was a little pond that we had where you could go fishing, and they had installed like a little deck on it. And one of my friends had driven us over to just like get ice cream, and we were just hanging out, eating ice cream down by the pond. It was like just past the point where the sun has gone down, where like there's just a little bit of light on the horizon, but you cannot see the sun. So it was like deep twilight, and we were just hanging out, and it was fine. And then we heard the most horrible screech of a thing, and it was just like, well, that's a weird sound. Something is in distress. But like the way it trailed off, it went from like the sound of a creature to like a chainsaw revving.
Oh, so it was just dingy.
Exactly. But it was well before Chainsaw Man, so it couldn't have been. No, like we heard that once and we're like, wow, that was a weird spooky noise. And like we hear it again, it's like, okay, something's getting attacked or something. Then we hear it again and much louder, and all of us looked at each other and without a word just ran back to the car like, I don't think that's anything, but I don't want to be wrong, so we're leaving.
So something that I've talked about before is there's 3 things that I don't screw around with. One is dolls, because it's my biggest fear. Number 2 is Ouija boards, because everybody forgets to close them. So half of the ghosts out there are probably just from Ouija boards, let's be honest. And 3 is forests. A lot of things happen in forests. Could just
Like
be an
the
animal.
Grogda.
Could be a spooky creature. I don't know. General consensus is don't go into the woods at night, and all you like vloggers that are going out into the woods at night, you're dumb. That's just it.
Yeah, and this was
end
also
of story.
like it was the woods behind the pond that it was coming from, which is a place that my friends and I love to just like go and run around because there was some nice little paths. So very cool. Like there was this space where clearly they had used it to drive for something before, for like when there was construction in the area. So it was cleared out, but then it hadn't been used in ages, so it became very overgrown. But then both sides just have trees going all the way up, and it's gorgeous in the daytime, but not at night. You don't go there at night.
Yuki, I sent you in our little group chat the
The
Hugog.
Hugog? Yeah, I'm seeing it right now.
Do you know what the Hugog is?
I have never heard of the Hugog.
So the Hugog is a little fella who lives in the forest, specifically like right where you're talking about. And it's just this thing that looks like a moose but isn't. And he won't hurt you. He won't chase you. He won't do anything. He's just a moose kind of creature living around. But he's a cryptid because he doesn't have knees.
Oh my.
And so he has to walk like he's goose stepping everywhere. And he can't lay down, so he's terminally tired. And he has a big lip. And I thought you would like the Hugog.
Oh my gosh.
I just saw the pictures. It's adorable.
But yeah, don't go in forests at night. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
The Hugog's gonna get you.
The Hugog's gonna swallow you whole.
I do love that the Hugog's wiki article in American folklore, the Hugog is a fearsome critter. Like the choice of critter for its description.
Not creature, critter.
Critter.
Oh my god. We're gonna have to do a study on the Hugog with the Eyedols.
Please. I've been trying to get the Hugog to be a thing for a while.
So now, Nacree, what is your spookiest experience or legend you might have around your area?
We don't have a lot, but I had a very weird experience when I was a teenager. I go to a big place with kind of a big hospital for children, and I go here because I had school phobia. So I go here and we had school, we live in there, and I have a room with 4 other girls. It was at night, and my bed on my right, I had a wall, and on my left, nope. It just kind of wall do a kind of angle, so every girl have kind of a little private space. And I was trying to sleep, and at night I heard someone. Sorry, I hope you don't hear the cars. Maybe I should close my window.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
We can't hear.
I heard someone stepping on the sorry, what do you say in English? On the le couloir, the
Ceiling?
corridor.
The corridor,
On the
like
corridor,
the hallway.
the corridor, and yeah, of course it's an adult who check on us, and I heard someone walking, and the walk go very fast, and it was like this person was running, and I was like, why someone is running on the corridor at night? My face was on the view on the wall, and I felt a presence on my back. The kind of presence were like, if I turn right now, I'd die.
Oh my
I
gosh.
never forgot that presence on my back. It was like all the pressure of the hurt was on me. I was shaking, and then I look back slowly, nothing. But all of that sensations and hearing to step running on the corridor, I never forget that. I was maybe 15 or 16 years old. Fuck, no, maybe not. No, 16.
There you go. 15.
Oh,
Ah,
Nacree
what is
trying to say
society?
numbers in English is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, I was this age and never forgot this experience even today. And this is my only spooky experience. And I can feel like I'm chicken right now.
Oh,
just
chicken
thinking about
skin
this.
or goosebumps.
Oh my
this
gosh. Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why, like, I'm getting close to 30. Oh god, I hate to admit it. But I still refuse to sleep with, like, the people who sleep with their feet out of their covers. I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't care how hot it is. I cannot do that. I have to have the covers fully over me because, like, that horror from, like, all the movies has been instilled in me that if your foot is sticking out, the thing from under your bed is gonna grab it, or something's gonna run and grab your foot, and it's just.
I need 1 foot out for temperature control.
No,
Pepper,
I can't.
You are so strong and brave.
Oh my gosh.
That's the best part. I simply haven't watched horror movies because I'm too afraid of them, so they can't instill new fears in me.
That is fair. That's the cheat code.
That's the good strategy. I heard a lot of people was traumatized by Kirby's.
Furbies?
Oh, Furbies.
Furbies, sorry. Oh no, Kirby,
Kirby!
baby.
I mean,
So sorry, Kirby.
Yes.
Kirby can be traumatizing too, I guess.
Because
Nacree,
yeah.
I was gonna say I should
Come on.
show you. There are so many long form deep dive videos on Furbies and the US government, because there's this whole thing where our government genuinely thought that the Furbies were like gonna steal top secret government information and then
Okay.
send it to other people.
Oh my god.
It's so ridiculous.
Oh no way. Why?
I think the fear of Furbies got worse too because of that that game that they put out, that horror game. I already
I mean,
forgot what
that
it was
was
called.
well after the
yeah.
initial content of Furbies, though. Like, I was
I
terrified when I
know.
was little.
I just
and the
think it
reason they
made
were
it even
scary is
worse.
because- Oh yeah,
I heard-
absolutely.
I heard they can like start talking like
Mm-hmm.
suddenly without like your Furby is in a room and suddenly hey and it's traumatized.
Yeah, I was gonna
so much.
say, I had
Very
one.
spooky.
I had one, and it would not
no.
like go off.
Mhm.
And like the reason they were terrifying is because they wouldn't turn off properly, so they would just like do stuff at random times. But like I like put it in my closet and under clothes because it wouldn't shut up. And then like later it was still making noise, and that's awful.
No.
I would have chucked that thing in the dumpster right away.
For real.
Just nope. I don't care how much money you spent on that. That thing's gone.
Kick
That
the
thing is not
Furby.
in my life anymore. It's funny. My
Ew.
friend Lasso, his wife actually made a long Furby,
Long Furby.
but they
Long
left the voice box in still.
No.
Oh.
And its voice is even worse than like it used to be because the voice box got messed up. So it like just makes like screeching noises. So
I think my favorite use of these is there's a guy on YouTube who assembled them together on a circuit board to make.
Sweetie, your sound is
yeah, it just went crackly again.
It's like Furbies.
Just like Furbies.
Pepper is a Furby confirms. Sorry guys.
I'm watching my to jump between green and red.
Oh my gosh. It's that ISP. It's like, nope, you're talking about government secrets. We're not allowing this to happen.
Will not let you talk about the Furbies.
I don't want to talk about the Furby.
the forbiddens, like FUR. I'm so funny. Oh my gosh. But just to wrap things up, is there anything that you guys want to promote or share before we wrap up?
Okay, hold on, I got it. I think everybody here should once again go follow all 4 idols. You should, and if you're not following Yuki already, what are you doing? Hello? You're here. You should do that too. And you should check out all our schedules. As for my schedule, I stream every single week on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays. I don't know if you could stop on by
and learn more about soup.
Learn about. I talk about soup. I talk about Sonic the Hedgehog quite a lot. We don't play Sonic the Hedgehog games. We just talk about him.
Oh my gosh! Do you have
I
anything?
fall again on Sonic because of you, by the way.
You're welcome.
I don't really have anything planned currently because I'm trying to stream like a couple times every week now. But my schedule's kind of changing week to week. I don't have anything big planned because I'm actually finally getting a corporate job again or whatever.
Oh no, the corporate wage slave. No.
Which, it'll be money at the very least.
Yeah, exactly. That's what counts.
Money for snacks.
Money for snacks. I gotta get more gummy snakes.
Get some gummy snakes for the tummy mouth that you got.
I need to feature that in more of my actual PNGs.
My girls, obviously. If you can catch all of the idol stream, you'll just go on different worlds, different planets. Every girls have their own voice, aesthetics, personality, humor. We're really different. Like you'll feel the same wholesome, safe, and friendly atmosphere, but with a different shade, different type. So please check on all of us. We're not in really stream at the same time, so that's cool. We can go and visit. And in my case, I stream when I can. So sometimes I'll be here, sometimes I'll disappeared 1 week or two, but I'm still here.
You're doing your
I'm
best,
still
and
here.
that's what counts, right? Everybody, make sure to check out all the idols. Check out their commissions when they do open up, and give them lots and lots of love. And thank you for stopping by. I will see everybody later.
Yee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Ba-boom.